Pasando. Aquí está pasando.
Welcome to Pasando DTLA. This is your boy Tostones.
This is El Padrino, directly from Happening in DTLA Studios.
Y recuerda, aquí está pasando. Let's go.
Dude, what's happening? Yo, it's been a crazy 2 weeks.
It's happening in DTLA.
It is. So we had the power outage 2 weeks ago.
Wow, what a hiatus. Hey, if you didn't get to see our last episode, there was not our last episode, two episodes ago. We had a power outage in the building where the studio where we at, and we had to migrate in the dark. That's why it was Pasando in the dark, because there was no light.
Dark.
Shout out after dark. Shout out to Monica, who's not today. Happy birthday to you.
Birthday.
We love you. Blessings to you. But Monica came through with the iPhone light. That was the lighting we had. Yo, you got to go and see it. The thing is, in the YouTube, the internet and everything got knocked down. So I saw it and it froze. It was like
so it's frozen the whole time?
No, when it happens,
okay.
It starts happening. You have to see it, bro. It's hilarious. It starts happening, and we're both like, the lights start to dim, and we're both like, wait, what's going on? And we started laughing. It's like, yo, and I'm like, yo, if the show goes, I'm sorry, da da da.
Yeah.
And then right then and there, we stay like.
Yo, the island PTSD came out.
Exactly.
We were like, oh, shoot.
But shout out to all our people in IG Live. We have the IG Live going too. Go right now. Not right now. After the show, go to the IG. Go down in the posts, and then you can see the show's there, right?
It is.
And we're like super dark. We did that thing.
It's good lighting, though. It's good lighting.
It looks great.
Yeah.
It looks like we had
the hat looks better at night.
A new production.
And then last week was different too, because we had we were all abroad basically, or from our homes.
Yeah,
that was dope. It
was dope. We did that thing, and shout out to Gabi, came through.
Yo, Gabi was awesome.
It was great.
Dropping gems.
Dropping a lot of gems. I'm already. I got my new. I got my scrub and everything.
You got a facial? Or?
I have to get that one. But she was talking about like scrubbing all the time. I like literally the day after I bought a scrub, and now I'm like
washing your face, doing your routine. That's right.
That's shout out to Gabi. Shout out to Gabi. But yeah, it's been a crazy couple of days, right? Like, I mean, not as crazy as 2020, but
yeah.
But yeah, how's your week been going? Like, what's new with the check-in?
Dude, it's been good, man. It's been busy, but great. I was like really happy. I didn't watch the Grammys. I think I was working that night, but
Grammys.
It seemed like it was a vibe, dude. Like it seemed like it was cool.
It looked great. I missed it too, but I saw all the highlights.
Yeah, I was happy for most of the winners. Yeah, it was great. My boy Anderson .Paak.
Let's go.
You said that he had to prove himself.
No, I didn't say that he had to prove himself. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say I just said that he hasn't proven himself like Bruno has.
Okay. All right. Well,
but that was a step towards that.
I don't think he needed it, but he got it. So we good there. And then, of course, man, Beyonce's queen just did her thing.
Hey, shout out to Beyonce. She's holding a record.
Yeah.
I think she's holding 2 records. I'm not sure. I know she's holding the female record. Like, she has the most Grammys as a female artist.
I think just anybody, no?
I think she holds both, yeah. But I just don't want to say the wrong fact. But yeah, I think she holds both.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's amazing. Shout out to Bae, because today, we're going to get there, but we have one of her musicians on the podcast.
That's right.
So, we'll talk about that. But shout out to
Queen
Indigo.
got it done. There were some cool performances, dude. There was this performance that I saw from a group called Black Pumas, bro. Crazy story. The singer, young guy, he would take a bus for 2.5 hours to get to Santa Monica Pier, and he would sing. And the producer found him there, created a group, just created this really, really cool soul vibe. They performed at the Grammys, and just an incredible, like, just rising story, bro. Like,
wow,
he was doing that, I think, on a weekly basis.
That's
just playing out there
amazing.
consistently, and finally somebody found him that just loved his talent, and then just, you know, they started a band. It's a really, really, really cool band.
What a blessing.
He has the voice of like a, you know, old school, like, you know, older man, and he's just, I think, like 30 or 31. So for those of you watching the program, just check out Black Pumas. Great band.
I have to check it out. I haven't. That's a great story.
What was your favorite performance?
Favorite performance.
La de Dakiti.
I had to root for my people. They killed it. It looked great. Like, it looked great. It looked really good. The whole production was great. Bad Bunny looks like Bad Bunny has this shout out to Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is not only killing the game, he's doing great, amazing. One of the best artists in history. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that. He's doing a lot of great accolades and all that. Actually, he won the Grammy. We won't talk about that too.
He did.
But looking at that performance, he looks like he was already killing the game, but he looks now like super comfortable, bro. Like he looks like he gets on a stage and he just not no le está bajando ni un poquito.
He looks like Damian Lillard in the fourth quarter.
For real. like from half court. Like, bro, like for real. Like he's doing it. I don't know, man. God bless him. He looks like he ain't slowing down anytime soon. But yeah, I'm really proud of him and winning the Grammy.
Yeah.
Not a Latin Grammy.
Since he lost a Latin Grammy, so
right, that's a good conversation to have, because we had our first episode, we had our one-on-one. We had Bad Bunny versus J Balvin.
Well, it wasn't bad. It was Colores versus Yo Hago Lo Que Me Da La Gana.
But it's them. Anyway.
Yeah. Just, you know, because, you know, people get sentimental.
Some context, yeah. But we had we go watch the first episode, because we had a great conversation about that and what our thoughts were on that. But today we have resolved that, because they gave the Latin Grammy to J Balvin.
Yeah.
Which we highly disagreed. Highly. And then the fact that he's the one that won the Grammy for the best Latin album, it answers that thing.
Do you think they gave J Balvin the Latin Grammy because they knew Bad Bunny was going to take the Grammy?
No, I don't think they knew that. I think that the Latin Grammys are still... And this is another conversation for another podcast. But the Latin Grammy, let's talk about the Grammys, period. It's a whole bureaucracy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a whole politics. Winning a Grammy, it sets you up on the industry and it opens a lot of doors. But that's not the end game.
Here is the Grammy-nominated artist.
Hey,
all right, tell us.
For real. Like, it's not the end game, and it's not the... It's not the pinnacle of an artist, because there's a lot of artists,
of course,
that never won a Grammy. Let's talk about that. Bob Marley never won a Grammy. And he's not the only one. There's a lot of great artists like that never won a Grammy. So that really doesn't mean that you are the artist, you know? So that's the same situation. It's a whole politics. And J Balvin's career, amazing career, one of the best careers out there. Latin or not Latin. He's just a really great career. And they gave it to him because of the politics. The Latin Grammys still haven't got into this place where they understand that Bad Bunny's the guy.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe the Latin Grammy... Because, I mean, I think, my opinion is, the Latin Grammys were just not ready to honor an album like Yo Hago Lo Que Me Da La Gana. Que eso es... Papi, hay unas canciones ahí de que...
Sí.
Boom.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the reason.
Right? And then in the Grammys, you might be more okay with that. You know, I don't know if that's the real reason, but I'm just happy our boy got it, because he deserved the Latin Grammy. I was upset because he got snubbed, but
Yeah.
you know, the comeback, bro. He came back with the
Comeback. Like,
Yeah.
not a lot of Latin artists have performed in the Grammys.
Right.
There's a few. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot like Ricky Martin, Mark Anthony, J Lo. But it's like this type of names, you know. Right. And the fact that he got it and he performed. And he put Jay on because he definitely put Jay on.
Put Jay on, and I want Jay to be on.
Shout out to Jay though. Yeah, Jay is fire.
Cortez,
Jay's fire. It's funny because he when I don't know if you noticed when he started to sing, he starts the song.
Yeah,
and he had a little hiccup.
Yeah,
and it's so funny. I love it when they are mind you, we're not making fun of that gallito. We're making fun. We're laughing with him because he posted. I don't know if you saw. He posted. It was like. Oh, ese gallito al principio fue porque estaba muy emocionado. He said something.
Can you imagine, bro? Like, oh, dude, I love that.
It's crazy for artists like Jay, who's having a great career too. Mm-hmm. But he's not at that level of like international staple.
He's just getting up there.
He might get it. He might get there later.
I think he will.
Yeah, he's doing great with Dakity. He did it.
Yeah,
but. It's crazy, like being this type of tier artist, and then all of a sudden, you like you start the song. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but yeah. I mean, it was great. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion.
Right,
she's having a career.
Dude, and she throws some bars, bro. Like
she's fire.
Yeah,
she's one of my favorite right now, and she can dance.
She's great.
And she's a great artist.
Great.
And she's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a stallion.
Dude.
But
she deserved it.
Yeah.
People talking trash, but she deserved it.
Yep. I'm with her all the way.
Ozuna, I think, got two.
Ozuna got, I think was with Rosalia.
He was drinking coquito out of his Grammy, bro.
No.
I swear.
It was probably trash because it was not tostones.
He was...
not tostones coquito.
Aquí hay un restaurante que se llama Mofongo, ¿verdad? Mm-hmm. Right? So the restaurant got him the coquito bottle, and then he
Mofongos?
Yeah, apparently he was like, oh, shout out to Mofongos. I didn't know if he was in Miami.
But there's one in New York though.
There's one in Miami too, so I don't know where he was. But he had the trophy right there, so it's like he must have been here.
He must have been here. That's true. But I think he didn't win. He won.
El de con Rosalía.
Con Rosalía.
Yo
por ti, tú por mí. That song, I love that song. I love that song. But yeah, shout out to we just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, dude.
We just gonna. The next thing is some corrido tumbao.
Papi,
they for sure have.
I'm waiting for.
They
that
have
day,
to.
Yo,
they making music for real.
They just released another song called Entre la Lumbre o algo así. Natanael.
Natanael Cano is like the greatest.
Another one, bro. Those songs are good, man.
Shout out to Rancho Humilde. I can't wait to work with them.
I know.
Shout out to them. They're doing great. And hopefully we'll have them on the podcast soon. Let's manifest that.
Oh, dude, that's happening.
Let's manifest. Happening in DTLA.
Yeah,
pasando.
Bro.
Aquí está pasando.
Bien,
bueno, ¿qué tenemos para hoy en el one-on-one?
One-on-one.
Actually, no. Before we go into the one-on-one.
Yeah.
We need to talk about something that is happening right now. It's not a good thing. And we need to create the awareness because, we need to protect our Asian brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Right? And what's your take on that? This is weird. I feel like after the riots and the protests and everything that happened in 2020,
yeah.
Right? I think that the oppressor saw that they couldn't mess with us anymore, and it's like that bully that if when they can't mess with you anymore, they go on and move on to the next one, and it's like now they're gonna mess with our Asian brothers and sisters.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I don't get it.
I'm glad because it needs to be said, and we've been like I think we talked about this like 2 weeks ago, like just like what's happening? All these crimes against Asian folks, like this is like something is wrong, something is happening that is not good, and then what just happened this week, bro, like that was insane, and
it's crazy.
Like, well, like there was a massacre in Chinatown, like in the 19th century, like in 1870 or 1871, something like that, And it was, bro, it was literally just like an uprising sort of against, Chinese people that have moved here really to work on railroad tracks, and they started their community, bro, and they've been thriving since. But yeah, man, like, it's just crazy to see how that's still lingering like over 100 years later. And like there is, like, we can't ignore it, bro. Like, when you go travel with somebody that's of Asian descent, like, you see it. There's always some sort of insult. There's always some sort of like problem that people have with them. So, like, it's really a time to be allies, bro, and not let any of that stuff fly, bro. Like, that shit is not good, bro. Like, we cannot allow it in any platform, whether it's on the street, whether it's in a bar or on the internet, bro. We cannot let it fly.
Nah. And I don't understand, man. I don't really understand what's the point and what are they trying to prove? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just, we got to protect our brothers and sisters, Asian brothers and sisters, and unite, because this fight is against all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Black and brown, Asian, people of color.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, like, we got to stick together. And shout out to all the allies too. This is not a pointing fingers on any other race, because this happens all around. Mm-hmm. It's not just the white people. It's not the black people doing it too. Black and brown people doing it against each other too. Against, it's just that we need to stop it. Yeah, we need to stop it, and we need to protect each other.
And like the shooting, of course, was not of course, but it was a white male, but. In that massacre that I mentioned, because, like, we studied that, and it was mainly white folks and Latinos. So Latinos were very involved in that massacre. So it's not something that we're all exempt. Like, we all have to look within ourselves and see, are we actually really respecting and like figuring out what part of us is, seeing somebody as less, or like seeing Asian folks as people that should be mistreated, because it's a thing, bro. Like, this is not happening just because, like, we're socialized to think that way sometimes, I think, and it needs to be addressed. It's
been happening, and I know in as part of the 1992 riots. Mm-hmm. That was another thing that came, like, they started, it's been happening for a while. And it keeps happening.
And because of work, I was involved in this, but, like,
with the stores and stuff, they were there, remember?
So this Tuesday was the 30th year anniversary of Latasha Harlings being murdered. And that's basically one of the, before Rodney King, like, that was like the thing that really was, like, heating up the temperature of the neighborhood. And she was murdered at 15-year-old by going into a convenience store, or an inconvenience store in this case, and was shot for allegedly trying to rob something. And it was, by an Asian person. And, those ties, like, in that time were really ruptured, and it created a lot of tension between folks. And I think it's now the time to fix that. We need to make sure that we really come together in these times, that past doesn't define our current relationship between our races.
And if you see something, speak up. You know what I mean? Like, speak up and bring awareness to this situation, because that's the only way we're going to put a stop to it. Because evil is always going to be here. You know what I mean? Bad people and oppressors, they always going to be here. The only thing that we can do is get together and fix our end. You know what I mean? Like, this is not going to stop. We are the only ones that we can stop it by getting together, speaking about it, organizing, creating the awareness. And, shout out to all my Asian brothers and sisters. And we thank you, because you impact culture so much. Look, like this, I got a Vietnamese hat, you know what I mean? Southeast Asian. And is because their inspiration is there, you know what I mean? For those that don't know, my name is John Lee. I have an Asian name. So, like, all my life I've been inspired by Asian culture, you know what I mean? Martial arts, the music, the drip.
Absolutely.
The drip is on point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love the fashion and so it's a beautiful culture, you know what I mean? As a whole, all Asian, you know what I mean? So, let's just keep it up for them and power to them. We love y'all, and we're going to be here for you. We're going to bring the awareness.
That's right.
What do we have for 101?
101. All right.
Boom.
This has to be a shortened version.
Yeah, we'll do a shorty.
I don't know if we can do that, but here we go.
We do a shorty.
We're talking about Alicia Keys versus Adele.
God dance.
What do you think, bro? Alicia Keys versus Adele.
Bro.
You go first, man.
I always go first.
All right, I'll go first. Yo, the one time you know that people are going to be entirely against me, bro.
Let us know in the comments what you think.
Here we go, bro.
Adele versus Alicia Keys. IG, we want to see in the comments what you think.
Bro.
What's your take? What you got, Padrino?
This is tough, man. This is really tough. And I know this time around, I don't think I'm going to be very popular. Yeah. Usually I am the good guy in our arguments.
Usually I'm the one that gets blamed.
Yeah, you're totally blamed. But this time, look, I love Alicia Keys for every reason that people love Alicia Keys. This does not take away anything from Alicia Keys. But
that's already starting wrong.
But
Pero
I am going with Adele in this one. And I'm going with
Shout out to Adele, though, that she's one of the most amazing singers.
It's just, to me, Adele she's
amazing.
Such a unique talent. And it's just, I mean, you just can't find something similar to it anywhere. And what I like the most about Adele is that each one of her projects I can listen to from beginning to end and not get tired of it. Whereas like the album like 21, or I think it's 19, 21, and 25, her albums. Each one of them, I preferably like, my favorite is 21. But 19 I think almost messed up her vocal cords because she was straining it.
Crazy. But
bro, like, it's just like Rolling in the Deep, like even Hello. Yeah. Find Someone Like You. Like, all those songs are just incredible. I'm going with Adele and Sue Me.
Well, I'm what y'all think on the comments. I want to know what you think over there. I'm going to tell you what I think. You don't understand. People don't understand how much I love Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys is one of my favorite artists of all time. Like, there's no way I can put a lot of artists over her, because literally she's one of my favorite artists from all time. Like, the way that she's a songwriter, singer, musician, she hip hop head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like all the things I love, she's a master, and she's been able to accomplish it in history. She's also married to one of my biggest inspirations in my life, which is Swiss Beats. And I just love them. Like, I just like everything, every song of her. She's always like, bro, I believe we could do a versus between the two, and Alicia would body Adele. Like, just with like, you don't know my name.
It's
just with that song, and
I don't think it will be a body.
Is on fire. Oh yeah.
You know, the song I really like from her is that song with Maxwell.
Bro, all the songs.
The Fire We Make. It's the fire we make.
All the songs.
Bro,
another thing.
But no,
how has she been able for, like, bro, it's like almost 20 years that she has been relevant.
Yeah.
Relevant.
She's
relevant.
incredible.
I'm going with Alicia Keys all day.
Okay, so what's your favorite album?
All of them.
What? Okay, like, what's your ultimate, like, top?
Bro, songs in A minor, which I think is the first one,
okay,
is just a masterpiece.
Yeah, that's probably,
a masterpiece. But then the second one, I can't remember the name right now, but the second one has that other song, I don't know it right now by heart, but it's tough because all of her albums bring something different to the table. That's what I love about her, because she's not for instance, in my case, I wouldn't pick Adele over her, because even though she's amazing and her albums are amazing, I feel like there's a consistency of her creativity. Like she has never taken me off like, oh, what she did there. Oh, I like what she did there. All the songs like, oh, that's Adele. That's the fire that Adele would bring. But Alicia Keys, each album, she keeps her identity, but there's always something. She's always fresh. She's always moving with the times. She's like, she knows that even though she's one of the greatest musicians out there, she knows that she always has to stay with the times to be relevant. And she does it so perfectly. Like, if you compare that new song that she had that new song with Khalid. You heard that song?
I did, yeah.
Stupid, bro.
It's good. It's good. I'm not the biggest fan of it.
I love it,
but it's a good song. It's a good song. I agree with you in that sense that I love that song. She can move in the industry and be meaningful like in different areas. You know, like she had New York State of Mind, or whatever the name of that song is with Jay-Z. Empire State of Mind.
That song is incredible.
That song is amazing. And, she comes in and she's honestly the most memorable part of that song. But, I get that Adele can't do that. But if I'm going to sit down and listen to one artist, and you gave me a choice.
I will go Alicia.
I'm going with Adele. And I'm like, I'm going to
listen to... So you're going to slit your wrist all day, every week, every day. That's all you got.
That's all I do, bro.
Bro.
Asking me to do something different,
like that's what I'm saying. If you have to listen to that, you can't. Well, I mean, that's you, bro. Bro. Like I cannot listen to just Adele. Like if I do Alicia, I can, because she gonna slit the wrist. We gonna cry about some love. We gonna party in the club. We gonna talk about the family. We gonna get it lit. We're going to empower women. That shit just keeps going.
Y yo soy el corillo de la melancolía.
Tú eres el más cortavena que existe. Bueno, pues ese es el one-on-one que tenemos hoy. That's the one-on-one we got today. Let us know in the comments. I can't wait to see what we have in the IG comments.
Crucify me.
We need to know Adele versus Alicia Keys. I like this one-on-one, though. I like it.
Good.
Because it's different, but...
It's close enough.
It's close enough, because they're both queens.
Absolutely.
They're both amazing queens. But we have another
Talking about queens.
Talking about queens. We got an amazing queen. Man.
I'm excited for this one.
The artist that we have right now, she's just a quadruple threat.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about all this, but she's a musician, singer-songwriter, trumpet master. That's one of the hardest instruments to play. The trumpet, the brass is the hardest instruments to play. And our queen is a master. She's played with Beyonce,
Alejandro
Sanz, Gina Ico,
Lupe Fiasco,
Jay-Z.
Muy duro.
Durísima. And es puertorriqueña.
That's just,
she's a Latina. She's an Afro-Latina. And we're just gonna show you the vibes. What we got a little performance from her.
Yeah, let's see it.
Let's let them know what's up. Like, shout out to Crystal Torres.
Tíralo. For those on Instagram, please join us on YouTube, link in bio, so you can see her performance. It's just also gonna freestyle, so check it out. We're about to drop it from Instagram. Tírala ahí.
Gotta go. You're not gonna be able to hear it, Instagram. You gotta go to the YouTube and watch. Let's go.
Le pones mute, que voy a bajarla ya.
Well, it's a wonder man can eat at all. When things are big, they should be small. Who can tell what magic spells will be doing for us? And I'm giving all my love this world, only to be told that I can't sleep, I can't breathe, no more will we be. And nothing's gonna change the way we live, 'cause we can always take but never give. I think it's time we found a new religion. Oh, it's so insane to synthesize another strain. There's something about these futures that we have to be told. Yeah, that the future's made of virtual insanity. We always seem to be governed by this love we have for useless, twisted, all that new technology. Oh, now there is no sound, for we all live underground. No, oh, oh, oh. Forget your virtual reality, 'cause now it's virtual insanity. Oh, hey. Forget your virtual reality, 'cause now it's virtual insanity. Oh, this world we're living in.
Ya, lo bien chévere, man. Shout out to Crystal. Thank you for being here and blessing us with that amazing performance.
Yes. Am I here?
Yeah.
We're here.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for having me. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with you all.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. We're like fanning over here.
I know.
You just did that thing. I love that. I love what you did with that cover, though. I love Jamiroquai and my
Thank
God.
you. I was trying to figure out something special I could do for you all, something original that had like a little bit of the sour, como tropical, something that had a little bit of that. Yeah.
Sí, me gustó. Se sintió.
Se ve brutal. De verdad.
Como que tenía sabor a tostón.
Sabrosura. But listen, oh my God, we're so happy. I don't know where to start because your story is like, I mean, we have all the time in the world for you. Like just let the people know, like, where you from, you know?
Yeah. I am what you call a Philly Rican. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, North Philly, by 3 generations of Boricua women. That's where I got my start in music too, in the public school system. I was one of those little kids that would go to my abuela's house on the weekends, and like she had this little globe, and I just remember always closing my eyes and spinning the globe and being like, wherever my finger lands, that's where I'm gonna go. And I would open my eyes, oh, South Africa, I'm going to South Africa. Spin it again, close my eyes, wherever my finger lands, that's where I'm gonna go. Boom. Oh, Mumbai, India, I'm going to Mumbai, India. I used to always imagine traveling the world, and I feel like, they say when you have a calling, it's because it calls you. And so I always say music chose me. I didn't choose music. Music chose me. And that was the vehicle that allowed me to live out those childhood dreams and see the whole world many times over. And I'm so thankful for it. I play trumpet, I sing, I songwrite, and it's just a joy to travel around the world, bringing people like a moment away from their problems,
Yeah.
Talk about manifestation. Like,
seriously.
that's literally, you've been to all those places you said.
Everywhere.
You know?
Everywhere.
So-
I think it's like 63 or more countries. I tried to count one day. It was a lot.
So we usually try to go like in chronological order, but I think
yeah.
since you're so inspired, we don't want to do that right now.
No, we can't.
Was there like let's just skip right to this moment? Was there ever a moment where you were in a bus, a plane, or somewhere, and you were like, "Man, I'm fulfilling my childhood dreams right now"?
Oh yeah, yeah. From the very beginning when I was in high school, right? And because I always thought I was gonna be una doctora de niño. So when they would ask me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I would say, "I'm going to be a pediatrician." Right? I even used to volunteer with my tia in hospice houses and stuff. She was a nurse, but music chose me, and a lot of great teachers mentored me. They saw I had a good ear, and in high school I got a scholarship to attend like a jazz program, studying jazz in colleges, right? And I remember every day in this one program, they had like a listening library. I would listen to this record of Clark Terry, and I listened to it every single day for that whole summer. And also this other trumpeter, Roy Hargrove. And to give some background on that, Clark Terry played trumpet with Duke Ellington and Count Basie and any jazz girl you could think of, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, anyone you could, Dinah Washington, anyone you could think of, he played in their groups. And Roy Hargrove, while he's a jazz trumpeter, he was very young at the time, like a little older than me. He was a jazz artist, but he also was a part of the beginnings and the formation of that whole neo soul sound. He's on Erykah Badu's album, Mama's Gun. He's on D'Angelo's Voodoo album, the whole thing, and the Black Messiah. He just passed a year or two
Rest
ago.
in peace, King.
Yeah, rest in peace, Roy Hargrove. But so those people were my influences when I first decided I'm gonna get serious about playing trumpet. I was very shy, like painfully shy. So my focus was just, let me get comfortable playing trumpet and get really good. And long story short, after college, I was in high school. After college, I ended up touring with both of them. They were my first 2 professional gigs.
Wow.
And so at 19, 21, 22, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was like, I'm touring with Clark Terry on trumpet, and then I got a gig singing, touring with Roy Hargrove and playing a little trumpet. I had lived my dreams. I was like, I could die happy. And that was just the beginning.
Little did you know. Did you know.
Yeah, it was just the beginning. I had no idea. No idea.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That's incredible.
So how'd you get started? Like, so that was your start, but where did you go from there?
Yeah. Like I said, I started in the public school systems, and I had some really great teachers. I went on to study at William Patterson University, but my real training began on the bandstand with Clark, with Roy, Dr. Billy Taylor, another person. And I remember one time, Roy, I went to see him in New York, and he was like, yeah, I just came from the BET Awards, and Beyonce was there with an all-female band. You know, he was like, why weren't you there? You should be a part of that. I'm like, yeah, because this trumpeter that I look up to a whole lot invited me on tour when the auditions happened, so I didn't go. And he was like, oh. So at the time, I was in Philly, and I had my own group. I was developing myself as an artist, just starting out, and I wanted to be like the Esperanza Spalding before she even existed. You know, that's what I wanted to be, on trumpet and vocals. And through that experience, I met Tia Fuller, which was at the time Beyonce's alto saxophonist. We kept meeting at different jam sessions, a women in jazz festival. And one day I bumped into her again, and I was like, yo, if you ever need a trumpet player for that band, I never went to the auditions, I couldn't go, keep me in mind. And she said, I will. And she did. And the rest is history. And then I led down a whole nother path that I never, ever anticipated.
Incredible. How many years have you been playing with Bay?
A million. Let me see. Since 2007. I started. Actually, wait a minute.
Royalty. She's like royalty.
Were you like 12 when you started?
Yeah, I was 9. Yeah, no. I have to say, actually, I just thought about it. Today is the anniversary. I started on this day in 2007. Yeah.
What? Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wow, we celebrating it here. Oh my God, we got the exclusive.
Yeah.
That's sick.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about that. You know, like that's just such a big, I know that's just a little bit of all the things that you have done, and you know, we're gonna talk about that. But like, you know, for everybody else, you know, Beyonce is like Michael Jackson. Like you say, Michael Jackson, Beyonce is definitely in the conversation. You know.
Yes.
So like, how is that? Like, how is it working with her? The things that you've learned from her and those around you. Like, we want to know about that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Beyonce is like Michael Jackson for me as well. But I definitely have the unique perspective of all of us. When I say all of us, she chose a band of all women. There were 10 girls, 3 background singers, and her. And we were all really young, like early 20s to 30s, the whole range of the group, including her, like experiencing the world for the first time. When we talk about that, manifesting things, I remember right before I got that gig for a few years, I had this map of the world on my door, and I had this long hallway walking out of my apartment to leave, and I put a few little silver dots where I had been with Clark and with Roy, just like 3 spots in Puerto Rico, and Philly and New York, where I had traveled to. And I just used to envision that map just filled with silver dots everywhere. Leaving, and so this situation was a chance for not just me, but all of us as women from all around the country, the world. Even when our pianist Rie is Japanese, we were from all over the world in the country and had very different musical backgrounds. Everybody was trained at a really high level. So what I learned, well, first of all, what it gave me, that time, that season, gave each of us like a chance to grow as women, a chance to grow as musicians in a safe space, a chance to develop ourselves and to learn from each other. Because, like one girl was a hardcore rocker. Another one was like, had straight gospel chops. Another one, like I was a jazz head at the time and still had like that salsa background. And so we all learned from each other. And she took inspiration from each of us. Some of the conversations we would have, like the rehearsals, we would experiment with a lot of things, and she was always present. It was a beautiful time, and I have to say all of us grew from it, including her. And we worked our asses off, man. We were doing at a certain point like 150 shows a year, 160 shows a year, and not repeating cities.
Wow.
It was intense. So I learned.
It's Michael Jackson status.
Yeah.
So you were traveling every week. Like every week you were somewhere else, right?
There was
2 places a week.
Every day. We would do 4 and 5 shows in a week and switch different countries. So there were times when I'd wake up and be like, where are we? What's the language? What's the currency? What's the money? How do I say hello and thank you? So I can like order something or eat. We weren't sleeping. It was really intense. I learned what work ethic truly is. I also learned during that time, that experience has and still continues to teach me how to own my own power as a woman in the music industry, and also how to be really, really supportive of other women. I mean, I grew up, like I said, with 4 generations of women, of Boricua women. So I knew that feeling. I knew that felt like home to me. But in the music industry, as a woman, you're used to being like just the one girl in the group. And so all of us learned how to go from that alpha to coming together and supporting each other. And the level of respect was and is still just very beautiful. We're always going to have that bond, that specific group, because we did 2 tours together, global tours, in like 4 or 5 years with just that one group. And yeah, it was great.
I can't imagine how tight y'all sound like after a month. Like just like after a month of that, like, and that's years. Like it's just like by the 3rd year, you're like breathing each other's tunes, and like that's fire.
Yeah, it was amazing. That I love that season of my life too, because it taught me a confidence. Roy used to try and teach this to me too, but it was different because I learned it in action. Of sometimes we'd be in a city and we felt like playing some music and being creative, doing like a freestyle or whatever. If we showed up to a restaurant or a club, or we knew one musician that was doing a gig, we show up, one of us would get on stage. Before you knew it, we took over the whole thing, and we'd be jamming out to like 3 a.m. and having the crowd go crazy. And it was a certain confidence to have to do that. But all of us together, we were like a wolf pack, like a pack of something. I don't know, like banderas. Like we just showed up, and it's like this is our gig. Like we're lionesses. Like this
killing it.
We didn't care who was playing, what was happening. If we felt like we had something to say, we showed up, and then the other one would show up, and just it was very organic like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Men or women, whoever was next to them, they are back there, like they need to sit down. Men and women, I love that. That band is incredible.
So we we of course wanted to focus this month on just badass women that are, you know, just really wanting to empower other women. So it's really inspiring to hear your experience on how Beyonce went about choosing her team and the band. Like that is, to me, it really says a lot about her and her approach. Not now when it's cool, but in 2007.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I see young women and I see like girls and bands everywhere. And it makes me so happy because at the time we were like cutting edge. You know, Prince was the last person who had really done something like that.
Yeah.
So
She opened the doors.
She did. And she made it. She's a trendsetter. So she made it really popular and she made it so there's a lot more work for women in the industry for sure. And
after her, like everybody got on. I remember Tego. There was a time where Tego like one, and that was like, I don't know, like 2014, 15, around there. And he just wanted a girl band, and I know that he probably saw that. He was like, yeah, he did. He had it. He had it. He had it for a little bit. He had it for a little bit, and a lot of people started doing that. And I was like, wow, that's crazy how she opened up them doors. Somebody tell Tego I'll be his musical director. I love his music. He's such a great mix. He's an OG, you know. His musical director now is a female. It's a,
oh, good for her. Good.
Yeah, that's why he wanted to put it, because she was already in the band, and then he made her. I went to the conservatory with her. That's how I got in the band, because she called me to play with Tego, and her name is Amarilis. She's amazing. She's a percussionist, singer.
Oh, I'm gonna have to find her.
And then that's how that, you know, got to be. He was like, oh, find me, consígueme ahí una mujer. Yo quiero mujer en la banda completa. And she
Crystal's like, I want to join.
He would have loved to have you. Like, that would have been crazy.
He's such a great blend of like salsa and the sounds that I grew up with. I love him.
Love Tego for it. Tego es Tego.
Tego es Tego. Hey, Crystal. So, besides, you know, your experience with Beyonce, how was it outside of that with the other artists that you worked with as well and collaborated with?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, because since you opened it up and it was broad, I am intrigued because I think we should talk about your experience with Roy. And why? Because Roy, I mean, we'll talk about more, but Roy is like an underdog in you know what I mean? That's what I think. That's in my opinion. Like, he's such a staple and such a he opened the door for a new thing, you know, like because of he's like a pillar. Like we could say he's a pillar, like you said, neo soul, and he was the first to do a real jazz hip hop.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know, putting jazz and hip hop together. Like, you know, because hip hop is jazz, but nobody ever really did that.
No one ever talks about that. It's true. It's all black.
I want to know about music. That.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you said that, because I've always seen it as such. Like, it's all black American music. It's black music, and it's just the lineage of that. You know, jazz and bebop became hip hop. You know, and developed into so much more. But he definitely is one of the pillars of that, and he was the first person I saw in my life as a developing musician that was like, oh, you could be both. Because I was both. I was North Philly, we live in one of the hardest neighborhoods, called the Badlands is what it's called, you know, from that. But then I also had like my jazz influences and the refinement of that and the culture that speaks to now. And before him, I hadn't seen anyone who really bridged those two worlds, you know? Because he was young and he had the influence of the old and the mastery of that. But then he was on everyone's records. He also created his own records with his group, which I toured with, where he had like Common, Q-Tip, D'Angelo, Erykah Badu were on his records. And at that time, they were all the main radio. They were all on the radio. They were like the main hits on the radio. So it was like, oh, that's possible, you know. And he definitely was my hero and at the time. And then I also got to learn a big lesson of, you know, that even heroes are human. You know, we all have our demons. We all have our different things. And I learned a lot from that. I feel like it prepared me for the pop world that I was about to be like catapulted into sin querer, like without even wanting or knowing I was going to be there. That was like my training ground. Wow. But yeah.
I want to see some videos of you with him, because I'm a huge fan of Roy. Huge fan. Like
She was like 7 at the time.
If you find them, let me know, because that was pre everything. Like that was literally
right.
06. That was, the iPhone was made in 07. So people didn't. There's no footage. There's like not pictures. I would love to find it. We did like the Paris
There's no
Jazz
concert.
Festival.
There has to be some concert.
There has to be. I know they filmed the North Sea Jazz Festival that we played. We opened for Jamiroquai, ironically, and Erykah Badu and Kanye West right before College Dropout came out, maybe right when it was coming out.
That is huge.
Those times will never come.
Never.
No,
never.
That's never coming. Wow.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, but like you said.
Did you learn any? I'm sorry. Did you learn anything? I know you learned a lot, but is there any tip that he gave you that changed, your life as a musician, or anything that you remember?
Yeah.
Una anécdota o alguna historia cool con él.
I mean, kind of like going back to what I mentioned with the girls, he used to really push me to be aggressive with showing up and playing and showing myself. He would say like, go to the jam sessions. Don't ask to be invited on stage. Cut someone off. Stand up, get on stage and cut them off in the middle of their solo. Have something to say and then leave.
Dang.
And he was like, stop being afraid. Stop waiting to be invited or noticed. Go up and be heard. Don't, make yourself heard. And at the time I was so shy, and that was like my hero. So I was even more shy to play trumpet around him, because I'm like, what do I have to say around this person,
Yeah.
But he really instilled the seeds for me to develop into that feeling, that confidence,
I'm getting chills with that one. I got chills with that one. That's rest in peace, King. Bro. If you don't know about him, because I know there's a lot of people that don't know about him, listen to his records.
The RH Factor. Yeah, you'll like that.
Those records.
I haven't heard
Bro.
it. I gotta get on that.
If you like jazz and you like hip hop and soul,
and neo soul,
this guy is like the guy.
Gotta get on it.
Yeah, and for me, coming from Philly at that time, that was the breeding ground for that whole sound. We had Jill Scott, D'Angelo was there all the time, Erykah Badu was coming through this, so that's real. It's always going to be real heavy in my roots,
Does that influence also the music that you do on your own?
Absolutely. It influences my singing style. It influences some of the tempos that I like to use. I like to say I'm like a blend, like island boom bap. I like the hip hop drums, but then I have the Puerto Rican, I have the Bombay Plena, I have the Fania catalog, that was the soundtrack of my childhood from my family. So it's all those things that influence me. Yeah.
It's a perfect mix.
We're cut from the same cloth, Crystal. That's why we family.
Yes, exactly.
That's so dope. That's a good thing. I want to know more about that, like your inspirations, and let's talk about your music. We want to let the people know.
Yeah.
Because we know you have a couple of records.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
She's shy, but she's incredible. So like people need to listen and know that Crystal is here.
Yeah. So after my first tour with Beyonce in 2008, when we got back from tour, a bunch of songs just started pouring out of me. Like out of nowhere. I didn't see myself as a songwriter. I was an artist before I started touring with her, but more in the jazz realm. But all of a sudden, 30 songs in 30 days came out. Wow. And more songs kept coming. The tours kept going, and we still had intense schedules. But on the road, I just would get inspired. I started writing and writing and writing. Before I knew it, I built up this catalog of demos and different things. And fast forward to the move to LA. My husband and I moved to LA. We've
Shout
been
out
together.
to Michael.
Yeah, he's an amazing audio engineer. He's my secret weapon, I say.
Next level.
But yeah, he's incredible. I'm so proud of him. We moved to LA for him and his career. And during that time, I met Lupe's music producer, Soundtrack. And he called me in to play trumpet. And I remember going into the studio. It was a Universal recording studio. And it was for Lupe. I was like, they wanted me to do a solo. And I said, let me sit at the piano to figure out the chords. So I started playing piano. When I was done, they were like, we recorded that. We're going to put that on there. Thanks. And I was like, whoa. And they were like, no, we'll make sure you're good. Like, but we really like what you did. And so during that session, again, just like I had the audacity to tell them what I was working on. I was like, yeah, I'm a songwriter too, because I thought when we moved out here, I thought I was going to be done with touring and just focus on writing completely. So my husband Michael had challenged me. He said, you want to be a dope writer and you're already good, but to improve, do 100 songs in 100 days. See what can come of it. So I met Soundtrack during that run. I was on like song 80. So at this point I felt like I could sit down in the studio and write whatever. Country, salsa, pop, what, like I just felt prepared. He's like, well, let me hear some of your demos. And he heard them and he was like, oh, this is really good. And he, you know, in the industry, you don't always know what to think or what people, if they really mean what they say. But a few months later, he hit me and said, I'm doing a project with this Maybach music artist named Stally. Would you want to come for the summer to upstate New York and we produce this record and you can write and produce with me and I'll teach you Ableton and and you'll add piano parts to what I need. It's all like boom bap hip hop stuff because he's Lupe. He's Lupe's sound. He did Food and Liquor and The Cool.
Right.
Fire. So that summer was like, it was like, okay, I'm done with touring. I'm gonna be a writer. I'm gonna build up, you know, my artistry, maybe get past this shyness. And I spent that summer like in training, learning how to flip samples, learning how to add to tracks, learning how to be an asset in the studio. And I got to work with so many people like Pete Rock, Cardo, DJ Quick. We got to work with DJ Quick. I met legendary people, and again, just like it was like that cycle. Back when I was in the jazz world, I didn't get the gravity of that time of the legends I was working with and being trained with. And this was like my hip hop training, and I grew up on hip hop. And to me, it was all black music. It was just like the grandchild of jazz, you know. Yeah. But I got a chance to really sit with some of these producers and pick their brains and see how they work and just learn so much. And that was basically my intro to artistry. As far as getting featured, I got featured on Stally's records, and then I developed into a relationship with Lupe, and we still collaborate all the time. And he's so very gracious and open with whatever I want to add to his music.
Yeah, Lupe seems like a very down-to-earth person. He in high school, he was one of my favorites.
He was so in.
Dude,
like, that was kick, push, kick.
Yeah.
That song is...
I'm a skateboarder, so that he had me all over. Hip-hop, skateboard.
He has that song with Jay-Z, too. And it's just like Northeast vibes all the way. Just incredible sample, and he really kills it. And then, you know, of course, like Superstar. Yeah. That's just great music, man.
Yep. And that's all Soundtrack. Shout out to Soundtrack. Definitely. Lupe and Soundtrack, their chemistry together is very special. And I'm thankful to be a part of that sound now, you know, for the past 4 or 5 records. It's been beautiful.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. Oh my God. We got a real queen, I'm like, legendary queen.
Starstruck here, dude.
In the house.
And so back to my own stuff. It's funny. I always just like to live in service of the music. And sometimes that leads me to just be whatever's needed, you know. But as far as my own stuff, honestly, COVID has, and this forced break that we've all been given as musicians has given me a chance to finally start developing and producing out this massive catalog of original music, you know, and I'm super excited to finally be like preparing to put it out.
Do we have a release coming?
Yeah, when does it come out?
Yeah, it's going to come out by April. I'll be putting out music. And when I start, by the end of April, I'm not going to stop. And that's part of why I'm so reluctant. I'm like, once I start, I just want to keep giving people because I have song after song after song. And, you know, everything happens in God's timing, you know, in the right time.
Amen.
Because I've had all of these years to learn production and to learn at the highest level what it takes to put on a good show, what it takes to tour, the work ethic it takes to really build an artistry. And I'm just so thankful that I'm embarking on that journey for real, like now with all of that knowledge, you know.
Wow, I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah. Are we expecting any features?
Ooh, eventually, absolutely.
Hey, are we gonna have that track that we did a track together? I did a recording. We did like a little vibe of Puerto Rican, Afro Puerto Rican.
Okay, it's amazing.
Is that coming in there or
not on the first project? Not on the first one, but it's definitely coming. It's definitely.
I can't wait. I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah. We need when we're ready to do that. I'm gonna shoot a video when everything is like COVID safe. So I'm gonna hit you up about that for sure.
Let's
ready
get
to
it.
Release.
That's dope.
Oh my God!
Like I tell every artist that comes in, I play the maracas, so I'll be ready for the video too.
shout out to El
He got bars though. He got bars, and we got him on the boot camp, and he got the bars already.
We're gonna have a Padrino feature on maracas.
Right.
Oh man, there's so much
special.
I want to.
Yeah.
I want to. Talk to us about like. Right now, you're touring with someone right now, right? Weren't you touring? Would you just
I was on tour with Alejandro Sanz, and I've been,
Alejandro Sanz is like one of our favorite artists of all time.
He's timeless. He's the consummate musician. Él es como héroe de los músicos, like everyone, el músico de los músicos, everyone looks up to him. He has that sensibility of, first of all, he loves black music, blues, jazz, anything like that. He loves that. And he has some of those influences, but his main thing, everyone knows, he's flamenco. It's flamenco and pop. And it's been such an education working with him. I've really learned about flamenco music, and you can't fake that. It's complex. No. It is beautiful.
You cannot fake it anywhere.
It's complex, and it comes from North Africans. It comes from the Moors, from the Moros.
Right.
So, but it's a different type of complex and a different level of. It's just a whole different genre than what Black American music is, and so to have all those things in my head and in my spirit, I'm so thankful. I've learned a lot from him. Yeah, a whole lot.
What?
One of my favorite concerts of all times is the MTV Unplugged with Alejandro Sanz. Eso es calidad. Eso es calidad.
Fino.
You want to talk about the law of attraction. When I was in college, that album had been out for a few years or whatever, or maybe it had just come out, I forget, but my tia had it like in her little CD player.
Yep. Mine too.
And so I was in college at the time, but it was summer break, and she lived like a half a mile from my parents' house. So I would go practice in her house because it would be empty, and you could play trumpet real loud and sing without, worrying about being heard. So she said, yeah, just do your laundry during the day, chill at my house. Every day I would practice and I would play that album for a whole summer. It's that same thing. Every day I would do that. And that I feel like something about whatever I choose to sit and listen to over and over, like it attracts that artist to my life, because it happened with Roy and Clark. It happened with Lupe, with Alejandro, and with Lupe. Because with Lupe, when I moved to LA, I was cleaning my new apartment for like a week, every day scrubbing and moving into Kick Push and those records.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you have a favorite like Alejandro Sanz song, or like that you just really enjoy singing? Playing to?
Well, she sings there too.
Yeah, I sing in his band too. We do this medley, and there's this one song that I love. It's super hard to play, but it's so beautiful, and I love singing it. Hoy llueve, hoy duele. It's such a good song. It's one of my favorites from the No Es Lo Mismo album. I love that.
That's my favorite album. That's my favorite album.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic.
Papi, yo puedo vivir todo el día con música cortavena.
Yo con Alejandro puedo. Papi. When Alejandro came out, he was the hugest artist, and at the moment that he came out, he was the hugest artist in the whole world.
Oh yeah.
But in Puerto Rico, it was like,
yeah.
And he everybody was going crazy with him. Like, and I remember I was a little kid. I was like, I don't even know what year this was, but it was like 98, 2000, like around there. And I was a little kid. Like, little kids didn't really listen to that stuff. But here I am listening to all amazing music. I was like, oh my God, this guy. I was like in love. Like I literally had a crush on this dude's music. Like,
yeah.
I went to see him, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna see him. I've never been like this with Michael Jackson is the only one that have like a fan crush. And I had it with him.
Yeah, bro. I remember because my aunt also had it, had a CD. And dude, like I just remember Aprendiz, Amiga Mía. I was like 9. Amiga Mía. Like como si hubiera pasado un divorcio. Like I'm 8 years old. Like what am I really like?
I'm so proud of you because you have done so many great things, and all the artists that you work with are like staples or like pillars, and that's something, you know, that says a lot about you, you know, because not anybody can be in those positions. You know what I mean? You have to be like a certain level of musician, of person, of spirit, of artist to be in those rooms, because those rooms we're talking about, like for instance, like this guy, I can put him in the same list with the best songwriters in history. I'll put him in that list. Like Bob Dylan and all these people that are like,
he's a poet. Absolutely.
He's in that level.
He's a musical poet.
I'm even getting like his songwriting ability.
It really is.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm so proud of you, for real.
Thank you so much. I'm so humbled. I'm very humbled. I know so many people who are great people and who work just as hard as me and don't necessarily get those opportunities. You know, but one thing I'll say too, if there's anybody trying to come up in music or whatever you're trying to do, it's like you have to prepare. You have to prepare and act as if it's already here. That law of attraction is very strong when you do that. And then when you see that moment, have the audacity to say what you want. You know, for a lot of opportunities I got was because I reached out to such and such and told them, hey, if you ever need someone, I'm available. You know, and sometimes that's just all that it takes, or it may be the right timing. You know, but I feel very fortunate and blessed because I know nothing is guaranteed, especially in the music industry.
I love that.
Yo, I just got chills again because what she said is like. This is why, man, I'm so thankful, grateful for you and everybody that has graced this podcast, because it's definitely, we have some energy here.
There's a theme.
It's very godly because the last episode was in that lane too. Gabi was the one that we had. She's a 2-time Emmy winner.
Yes.
And she said something that you extended is another example of how to get it in this world, and it's believing in yourself and putting yourself out there. That's what she said. She had a great job that came to her because of that situation. And then you said that now, and people need to hear this because this is the example of how you get there.
Yeah,
you can have the talent, you can have the resources, but if you don't put yourself out there, it's never gonna happen. Yeah. So what you just said is so inspiring.
Yeah, and put yourself out there with grace and with detachment to how things play out. Whenever I asked for these things or told someone, I never expected the gig ever.
No expectation.
You can attach. You really can attach.
I love this.
Yeah.
You're amazing, Crystal.
Oh man, thank you.
People need to know.
Yeah, this is definitely a blessing, and you know, like I want to double down on what you said, because when we started the podcast, we were not thinking about this, but I truly am blessed every time I do the podcast because there is a theme. It almost seems supernatural because people are blessing us and people around them or the viewers, because there is something, like there is a secret about what you are all, you know, bringing to the table. Basically saying, you know, sharing your story and saying I am successful. Well, you're not saying necessarily I'm successful, but you know, basically getting down to why is it that you're in the
it's
rooms
deeper
that you're
than that.
in. Yeah. And it seems there's a theme here, you know, with all of you that are really successful, and we're just taking notes. We're just really enjoying this, you know, this ride.
And we're not talking to each other like she don't know about, you know, we don't. This is really happening here.
Yeah.
And once again, we're so grateful for you. And if you don't follow Crystal Torres music right now, the Indigo, you're going to have a problem. Tostones going to be, va a estar frito. Please follow her. And the music is coming in April.
That's right.
Yes.
So we all can't wait to play this. I'm played it.
Let's do it.
We should do a playlist and
With
add the
all-
music. Yeah,
that's
with all the
right.
artists and
All
add
the
this
artists.
music. Yeah, that's
can't
coming,
wait.
y'all.
That's coming.
But
So let's do this top fire.
Top Fire, it's
Okay,
about the
let's
time.
go.
Top fire. I think we should start with Crystal the Indigo Torres.
Yeah.
All right. The top fire for today is, what are your top 5 musicians ever?
Oof, oof.
That's a tough one.
Oh, that's so tough.
It's super
Top
tough.
5 musicians ever
Of all
Yeah.
time.
of all time. My God.
For
Okay.
you.
Okay, for me.
And are we focusing with just people that are, instrumentally
Yeah, yeah,
gifted? Because that was my understanding, right?
Okay, instruments and not vocals,
Instruments without vocals.
or is
But
it
she's
anybody?
an instrumentalist and a vocalist.
Yeah.
So you want to include the vocals? All right, let's do the vocals.
That's the instrument. And the
I agree.
Singers are also instruments.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anything. just want to hear anything.
All right.
Oh my
Anything.
goodness, this is really tough. Okay, to break it just down to 5, I would.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do.
Oh my gosh, I would have to put Miles Davis in there.
Ooh, I got that one.
Miles Davis, not just because he plays trumpet or anything, and I also play trumpet, but because he learned how to redefine himself and stay with the times and be completely current. But he kept his voice the same, and he changed the scenery around him. He was always a piece of art, and he changed the framing. So just his whole approach to his career and his artistry was a game changer. And you definitely, before that, I feel like you didn't see instrumentalists do that and be on the cover of magazines and be in the forefront like that. So Miles Davis,
Okay.
Jimi Hendrix.
Oh my God, are we gonna do the same list, Crystal?
See, this is why we're friends. Toss Stones, you like my brother. 'Cause
For
we
real?
Okay, who else? Ella Fitzgerald would be for me.
Nice.
Clark Terry told me some amazing stories about her. She actually played the harmonica. Amazing, and she had perfect pitch, and you hear it in everything she does. And her phrasing and stuff. Whew. This is really tough. I would include Roy Hargrove in there.
Definitely.
Because of all of the genres and artists that he influenced, not just on his instrument. The last one, and I'm going back in time, but these are the people I'm impressed with. Duke Ellington, because of his composition at the time,
The Washingtonian.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta add another one. Maybe it would be her and Ella Fitzgerald, Dolly Parton, to be honest.
Ooh, that's
Dolly-
an interesting choice.
As a songwriter, Dolly Parton heavily influences me. Just her longevity, her consistency, the simplicity of her songs, but just how you can relate to the lyric. And I'm not a country fan, but I am a Dolly Parton fan.
She's a legend.
Yeah, I would put
Icon.
her up there.
I was not expecting that one.
I was
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
That was
that
good.
was
I like that.
left field.
I like
She's
that.
somebody I discovered later, but I consider her a great up there.
Love it.
So what you got? Yeah, I can't go after her. We have half the same list.
I know.
Sorry.
Mine is very, very, very different.
Yeah,
All right.
let's go.
Here we go. Not in order,
Okay.
but Michael Jackson,
Woo.
Louis Armstrong.
Yes.
This is where it gets
father.
really, really interesting.
Let's go.
I have a crazy affinity for Jerry Gonzalez.
Ooh.
Like that when he passed away.
My G.
Yeah,
I like
that
that.
was my
I like
that was
that.
my guy. I also have a very I don't think he's at the level of Miles Davis, but I just really like this dude, and they're sort of in the same range. But I really like Chet Baker.
Oh,
Ooh,
Chet
I
was
love
one
Chet.
He was one of my first loves on trumpet.
Yeah,
He was everything to me.
His music is so nice, bro.
Yeah.
it really is. It really
Sweet.
is.
You hear his heart. You hear how
Absolutely.
tender, how kind he. Yes, I hear.
And he was an ambassador of Caribbean music.
Was he?
Yeah, because he
Wow.
used to do a lot of like Brazilian vibes,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
the bossas and all that
Yeah,
bossa
yeah.
nova.
And I think, man, the last one is hard. But I think, although in the one-on-one I went with Rihanna, I think in the overall scheme of things.
Are you gonna say Anderson Paak? This is an inside joke.
I saw that one. That's a tough one.
No, and not because Crystal's here, but I really do think that Beyonce changed the whole game. Like,
Good.
you know, like I think people sing differently today because of Beyonce. So
Agreed.
People sing different. They dress different. They make different videos.
Yeah.
They make everything. She's like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson started like a lot of things that everybody else started doing, and then Beyonce took over with that.
But I just want to put, you know, at the PS, I still like Rihanna more. But
No, we did a 101, and he went with Rihanna.
I saw that one.
I went with Beyonce.
You know, I saw that one.
I
she
love
was like, I
Rihanna. Though.
saw your
I
ass.
saw you.
She was like, "I'm gonna get you."
No, but you know what? I'm glad you say that because people often, and I went through this, really choosing to be a vocalist and coming forward like I'm not just a musician, I sing too. People don't think of vocalists as instrumentalists, but the voice is an instrument, and when you're really trained and really good at it, like some of those singers are better than instrumentalists. Like Beyonce, her voice is her instrument. She can do things with her voice. I wish people could hear the rehearsals and the stuff that she's doing when she's playing. It's like, oh wow, you know, like she's an instrument. She is a musician, not just a singer. And there's a lot of vocalists like that deserve that respect.
That's a fact.
Love that.
So let's see. I don't know what I'm gonna do because it's tough. But no order. My top fire, no order. I'm definitely gonna go with Miles. That's Miles. Miles is just. If you don't know Miles, please go and research Miles because he's just not only musically, but you know, as an artist, as culture, just culture. Like the fact that when we say, "Oh, that's cool," is because of him. That's crazy. Like that's the word is because of him. There's not because of anything else. It's because of him.
Yeah.
So Miles Davis for sure. I'm gonna go with Michael Jackson is one of my idols. Yeah. He the first music that I wanted to imitate was Michael. And the dancing part too. I am gonna go with Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
Jimi Hendrix for me is like it's such a huge inspiration in my life, in my music, and everything. Like he's one of my favorite artists. Damn, I'm gonna go with James Brown.
Yeah.
James Brown
changed the
definitely.
game, too.
James Brown is the real one that changed everything. He's that like after him, there will be no Michael.
There would
be no hip hop.
Yeah. No Prince.
There would be
none
no
of that.
There would be none of that. So
No
shout out to
D'Angelo, none
him.
of that.
No D'Angelo, no Justin Timberlake, none of that. James Brown. And I have one more slot, and I have to really think this one through.
So tough.
I'm gonna go ahead and put Tito Rodriguez.
Ooh.
Because I had to. I couldn't leave my Latino
Yeah. I
heritage
thought you were gonna say
out
Tito
there.
Puentes.
No, Tito Rodriguez. Tito Puente could be in the top 10, but
makes
definitely
sense.
Tito Rodriguez.
No,
Tito Rodriguez, and I've talked about this before. Like Tito Rodriguez is just, to me, I just love everything about him. Like the way that he handled himself. He was like the Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The first Frank Sinatra Latino. And he played percussion. He was a timbalero. He played percussion. He danced salsa. He sang. He had a show. He was the band director, even though he had Daniel Santos. I don't know if you know who Daniel Santos is. Daniel Santos is the composer of all the best big band and boleros and all that stuff. But everything that he did was because Tito was like, oh, I want it like this. I want it like that. I don't like that chord. I don't like that. And same like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson didn't play any instrument.
Yeah.
But if you saw This Is It, have you seen This Is It, the movie?
Yep.
That movie blew my mind because when you see the part that he has the keyboards like rehearsing a part and putting the chords on something that he's singing. And mind you, he don't know anything about what chord that is. He don't know anything about what note that is. But he just knew. He was like, no, that chord ain't it.
He was so detailed.
He was like, that chord ain't it. No. That
Yep.
chord ain't it. Switch the top note. But change it. And the same thing with Tito. Like, I love artists like that they don't even need the whole resource, and they do a better job than anybody that did.
Yes. All the greats know how to do that. They know what's good and what's bad and what their intention is.
So that's my top fire.
Yeah. Oh,
Sick. That was good.
this I have to add something. This isn't an artist, but in general, the entire Fania collective,
Yes.
group of people, like, that's some of the best music on earth. Honestly, the arrangements, the musicianship, the artistry, the culture, like, there's nothing. That's a big influence, and it's one of the greatest to me of all time.
It's just like a perfect mixture, you know. It's you're literally just getting this collective of culture, and then just displaying it to the world through New York City. Like it's just, it's the perfect mix.
It's like the Wu-Tang of Latin music.
It is. It really is.
Yeah,
it's like everybody's fire, the beats is fire, like everything. It's like, what is this?
Yes.
Long live Johnny Pacheco.
Yes.
Thank you, because he
Rest
put
in
that
peace.
together.
Thank you.
He did.
Thank you. Woo.
Oh my God.
All right, I think we're ready.
We got the suelta.
Suelta.
We're going to start it off, and then we're going to kick it to Crystal.
I don't know. Crystal
Let's
looks
see.
ready.
You want to go ahead and start?
Crystal looks ready.
No.
She was like, "Boo."
Getting ready.
You can go ahead and start if you like. I would like, hey.
However y'all want to go.
I think she should go.
let's go with her.
I want to feel the vibes.
Let's
first.
go with her. I'm going to get more inspired after seeing her.
All right, cool. Let's see. Let me do a little sound check here.
Sound check.
Woo.
Check 1, 2. Can y'all hear?
Yep.
All right.
The beat not yet, but
The beat
but we
not
hear you.
yet. Oh,
No.
okay. Something's going on with this. All right, then. Little technical difficulties. How about this?
After losing the power last time, nothing beats it.
You guys lost power?
We lost power 2 weeks ago, and we were doing the show in
Tell
the
me
dark.
about it. Well, wait.
Yeah,
I'm
so
it's hilarious.
So we call that episode "Pasando After Dark," and and it was so dark. All the lights went out, and the
internet fell off.
Yeah, so we had to go on Instagram Live, and then Monica, who was like our coordinator, she had like her flashlight on us. It was hilarious.
You gotta go see it. It's on IG.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on YouTube soon.
I cannot wait.
Because it was a great episode. Shout out to Sizzle. Fantastic.
She was dope through the whole thing.
Super dope.
She was
you
like,
know what?
oh, cool.
You guys do your freestyle because we're having technical difficulties over here. The internet doesn't want us to be great. So let's go.
Okay, so we're gonna start, and then you get ready over there because we not gonna finish the show until we hear.
Oh no, we gotta hear that fire.
Because y'all don't even know. We heard the tech run. We did the real tech rehearsal, and she was just messing around, and we were like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
So y'all need to see this. So let's do it.
Estamos fritos.
We ready for that.
Let's go.
Estamos ready. Yo no sé qué voy a decir, pero.
This is from the top every time.
Oh,
Hey, there it is.
Oh,
is that it?
Yep.
I
that
still
is.
want you to start because I'm gonna get inspired.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, can y'all hear it?
Yep.
Yep. Woo.
Okay.
Cristal.
Mi ritmo lleva bomba y plena. Yo te canto hasta whatever. Respeto, yo no soy cualquiera. Mejor te enseño la trompeta. Aquí yo tengo a mis hermanos. Tremendo flow para la cultura. Como familia mis vecinos. DJ Tostones y el padrino. Y estamos bien, 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 y estamos bien en Downtown LA. Saludos pa' mi gente. Aunque no estamos aquí de frente, hay gratitud en el ambiente. Y el amor aquí se siente. Es lo que quiero pa' mi gente. De Puerto Rico hasta el oriente. De Filadelfia hasta LA. No se preocupe, estamos bien, estamos bien, estamos bien. In Downtown LA. Oh, 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 oh.
Papi, estamos bien.
Yo, estamos bien de verdad.
I had to pull out my soneo vibe, my
Yo.
sunshine.
Oh my God. Let me tell, I'm sorry. I love everyone that's been in the show. Let me tell everybody that's coming. Bar is high.
Bar is very high right now.
Bar is very high. Shout out to Crystal Indigo. The Indigo. Oh my God.
Oh, muy fuerte, muy fuerte.
We shouldn't even do anything, bro. Like,
Y recuerda.
yo, oh my God.
Uh,
That was incredible.
Thank
That
you.
was incredible.
Bueno, pues yo creo
Let's
que
try
we
it.
could try.
Vamos, vamos. Ya
Dice.
got it.
Me encanta este beat. Papi, esto es Tiny antes de Tiny.
Antes de Tiny. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Dice. Me da escalofrío cuando te tengo cerca. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cuando suena la pista, no hay quien se resista, porque Cristal ya llegó y con todo se quedó. Ey, yeah. Y yo no sé qué puede pasar cuando venimos a inventar, porque cuando se escucha la cosa buena, se pone buena la crema. Y como dice cuando suena el dembow, lo hago de corazón. Y cuando improviso, a los MC baratos piso. Dile, yeah.
Mira, estamos aquí con Cristal.
Hey.
Nos vamos de aquí para allá. Estamos más lentos que el FEMA. Estamos ricos como abuela. Y estamos súper bien. Lo que quiero es arroz con habichuela y un poquito de tostón. Tengo el sabor, la adobó. Mira, tengo el flow. Llegó aquí el tremendo dejón. Y vengo al garete. Le metemos bien de frente. Aquí estamos con Cristal y Tostón. Tú sabes que le metemos home. Le metemos home run. Y de Tostón vamos a matarlo.
Yo siempre lo estamos matando.
¿Cómo?
Con todos nos estamos quedando.
Sí.
Ya tú sabes lo que está pasando.
Ey.
DTLA, estamos roncando. Ey, y lo que vengo inventando es para que tú sepas que es lo que está sonando. La pista que siempre yo estoy oprimiendo es la que siempre está reventando. Ey, y por eso estoy cantando, para que tú puedas poco a poco analizando. Los MC baratos pisando, atrás se van quedando. Ey, y yo sigo pa'lante. Tú sabes cómo es, porque estamos aquí tostones en LA. Cristal, dile padrino cómo es.
Mira,
Hey.
me gusta esa boricua porque no es chumba. Yo soy su timón, papi, y ella es mi pumba. Y seguimos al garete, ella me lo esconde, catacumba. Y estamos aquí resonando como la rumba. El cuero le mete adentro, tú sabes, venimos de frente completo. Estoy con el padrino y tostones y Cristal le metiendo. ¡Ay! Me fui y regresé. Venimos de acá para el C. En Cali, Colombia, nos vemos allá con un refajo.
¿Qué? ¿Cómo?
Diablo, me fui.
Yo.
Tremendo flow.
Oh my
Yeah.
Qué
God.
vacilón.
Crystal Torres.
Thank you for blessing us.
This is
Thank you,
top
guys.
5 episode.
Oh,
Top fire
absolutely.
episode.
Top 3.
Top
Yes,
3, yeah.
So much fun. Y'all family. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh my God. God bless you. Shout out to Michael, Big
Yeah.
Michael. We can't wait to hear your music, and we can't wait to get in the studio, Tostones and Crystal. We need to get it
Yes.
going.
Make it happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Featuring El Padrino and the maracas.
Yes. Padrino solo on the maracas. Yeah, I just want to thank you all for having me. Y'all are family. And thank you to everyone who's watching. I hope you guys get some inspiration from this. We love you guys.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Crystal. I'll see you
Crystal.
soon. Un amor.
Ay,
verdad,
mucho
gracias.
amor.
Bye.
Abrazo. Chao.
Bye bye.
Bueno, another one in the books.
Yo. I could have gone another hour with her.
Yeah, man,
This
that
is the
was-
longest we've done, and it was just right.
It's a breeze.
It was just right.
It's a breeze.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone that watched. Let us know in the comments what you think about the 101, about Crystal, about anything. Make sure you subscribe. Happening in downtown LA. Ya tú sabes cómo es. It's your boy Tostones.
Es el padrino.
Y recuerda,
Aquí está pasando.
Están fritos.
Closure.
Pasando. Aquí está pasando.